I just quickly wanted to go over the end of the German turn here before I go off to the Austrians, because you know what? For 5 supply points, I think the Germans did pretty darn good. So I know technically, I guess I shouldn't be using this hex because it doesn't actually have a hex number on it. It's only like a third of a hex or whatever up here. But if I was using the map 45N thing that goes all the way up to Riga and whatnot, I'd be able to use that bit of the map. So I'm putting the cavalry here. So, I mean, look at it this way. For 5 supply points worth of use, and you'll see how many DMs they also nailed on the Russians. I think they did pretty darn good. So we're able to separate the cavalry from the Russian infantry division that's trying to keep them away from the lines of communication and the rear of the First Army, but that's not going to work anymore. So the Germans were able to do that. The Germans were also able to bring up the 4th Cavalry Division from way over here to start helping out also to scare the living dickens out of the First Army's rear. I'm not going to mount an attack here yet, like I said, because of the lack of supply points, and now with this cavalry division over here, I can swing it over here and kill the river bonus, which would be lovely. But I did manage to bring, so for example, like these 2 Landwehr brigades, and I think the 35th Reserve Ersatz were up here, and I gave them a break, so they've been relieved from the Königsberg attack, and I brought up the 38th, so they're all fresh. And the 22nd is not too fresh, but they're still pretty good, so that's a lot. The only one I am a bit worried about here, and if the Russians maybe decide to try to, regardless of the river bonus, even with the 2 strength, of course they don't know it's a 2 strength, but maybe they'll start cluing in. There doesn't seem to be a lot of people there. I don't know. And the engineers were able to convert a rail line hex. That's wonderful. And did a combined attack with the 9th Cavalry Division and the 1st Infantry Division over here against the Russian 4th, or I can't remember what division, doesn't really matter now. The Cavalry Division were over here, the Russian Cav, they were eliminated, and the Germans didn't suffer any casualties, and were able to advance into that hex, as well as advance into this hex as well. So, not too bad, you know what I mean? Okay, they took a little bit of damage, but in the long run, not too bad, considering the Russians also lost some artillery. They had to retreat, and they just made it too. They had 11 supply points worth and took 4 hits, so they were able to, yeah, so I think the total DMs, it's like 6 DMs to 3, so that's not bad. And like I said, for 5 supply points, you got 2 hexes worth, able to start moving your cavalry around to start creating a lot of havoc. Brought in fresh troops into the front. Yeah, I think things are looking pretty darn good for the Germans at the moment. I mean, yes, okay, they haven't destroyed the Second Army, but there's no Second Army in in German territory, so good on them. Okay.